Hi cuties, my name is Hanako Kozumi and this is the channel Nerdy Nekoma. Everything here is about Haikyuu chat stories and fanfic. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Even a few hours after the event, Kema was still a bit shaken. He couldn't stop thinking about it and how each of the others must feel the same way whenever he faints. It left him on edge, and he got irritated even faster ever since, trying to avoid burdening them and distancing himself in the process. He snapped at Kuro and Bokuto when they voiced their concerns, and climbed on the kitchen counter shortly after when he couldn't reach something on the shelves instead of calling them for help. He was independent, he was strong, he was just a few centimeters too close and just 1 second too late. He was a burden. And with that, welcome back to my BokuAkaKuroKen series Fragile. In my last video about this ship, I asked you a question, or rather gave you this little riddle to solve. The answer is BokuAkaKuroKen. It fits, right? I asked you what these numbers mean individually, and those are the jersey numbers of 4 favorite Haikyuu characters. Kidding, I can't choose a favorite, but they're definitely at the top. And together these numbers basically mean the shipping name of the ship we all love and are here for. And now let's get back to the video. Before that, however, I want to remind you one more time about the content warnings this series comes with, which are the mention of self-harm, mention of unhealthy eating habits, and the mention of anxiety. So please be aware of that, and if you do not want to watch it because you struggle with these topics, that's completely fine. It was just one wrong movement, just a few millimeters too close, and just 1 second too late. Kenma knew that it was stupid, but it took him too long to realize just how high the price for his behavior was. Is he still asleep? Yeah, he worked the whole night. Again. On what? I haven't seen him stream or game in days, which is kinda concerning if I'm being honest. Bokuto hummed an agreement. Don't know for sure, something with a lot of charts. They both threw another worried glance at their boyfriend when suddenly Kema's alarm went off. Kuro frowned and walked over to put it off, but before he could reach it, Kema woke up. The moment he understood what the other was doing, the blonde stared daggers at him. Hey kitten. His voice was soft as he reached for Kema's hair, but the smaller flinched away. Kuro sighed. This had been a frequent occurrence these past days. Kitten, you have slept for what, 4 hours? That's not enough. Go back to sleep. Your work or whatever it is you want to do can wait. I'm fine. Kenma, we are just worried. Then stop. I'm an adult. I can handle things myself. He went to get up and walk out, but Kuro stopped him by holding on to his wrist. Kenma stiffened. Don't touch me. Immediately, Kuro let go of him as if he burned his hand. Kenma stormed off, ignoring Bokuto, who was still staring at him, and the shocked expression on Akashi's face, who stood in the doorframe. He just wanted to check on his boyfriends when he heard the fight between Kenma and Kuro. Hearing that was bad enough in itself, but seeing it hurts. Really hurts. They never fought, not like this. Tetsu. Kuro still stared at his hand while sitting down on the bed, or rather collapsing onto it. He looked helpless, desperate even. Tetsuro? Kuro didn't answer. His eyes were glossy and his fingers started to tremble. Without another word, Bokuto hugged him. No one spoke, even though they all wanted to. Akashi and Bokuto tried to think of something to say that could explain everything, any kind of solution or positive detail that would make things at least a bit better. I just don't know what to do anymore. He is hurting, and I don't know why or how to stop it. Tetsu, I've been with him for so long. I have to help him. I should know how to help him. Bokuto's grip tightened and he buried his face in Kuro's neck. I'm an awful boyfriend. No. His voice was muffled by Kuro's shirt and the other could feel Bokuto shaking his head ever so slightly. Tetsuro, you're not. You are not a bad boyfriend. Not to us, and not to Kenma. This is not your fault. It never was. Why isn't he better by now? If I truly did anything right. Tetsuro, this is not about you. Kenma is not hurting because of you. Even if Kuro didn't accept it, he needed to hear this, and Akashi needed to say it. To his surprise, however, Kuro nodded. What do you suggest we should do? Akashi sighed. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. He was about to join them in a group hug, but before he could get even close, a loud crash echoed from the kitchen. Kenma? Immediately, Kuro tried to get up, almost collapsing in the process, if it wasn't for Bokuto catching him. Now that Akashi thought about it, he looked almost as tired as Kenma, and Bokuto was barely any better. Akashi didn't even want to know what he must look like right now. Ko, look after Tetsuro and take it slow. I will check on Kenma. No, Bokuto gave Akashi a quick nod, who ran off without hesitation towards the kitchen. You can follow in a second, but you can't help Kenma if you fall and hit your head or something. The first thing Akashi saw was Kenma's limp body laying on the cold kitchen tiles. It shocked him, but not as much as the first time. Still, Kuro was right. This was not a sight you get used to. Kenma? He rushed to his side and gently took the gamer's head in his hands. He was about to pick him up and carry him to the couch again when he suddenly felt something wet and warm against his fingertips. His heart felt as if it was about to stop at the sight of the red liquid coating his fingers. Is he okay? Did he faint again? Akashi had to force himself to look up. Kuro's voice was the complete opposite of how he felt. He sounded tired, almost calm, while Akashi was panicking. He needed to speak up, to say something, but the words were stuck in his throat. They needed to do something, now! Do something! Should I carry him to the couch? Bokuto and Kuro looked at him confused. Their expressions slowly got more and more concerned as they chimed into the fact that something was more than wrong. The ace reached for Kenma, but... No! What? Call an ambulance! Keiji, I told you, it's normal. Now! But... No! Not this time! Call an ambulance, now! He panicked, his vision blurred with tears. Kiji! Now! Now! Call it now! His breathing quickened, and he tried blindly reaching for his phone, gripping onto nothing but air, and exposing the blood on his hand in the process. Kuro's eyes widened, and he joined Akashi at Kenma's side in no time. Kenma? His voice was weirdly high-pitched. With trembling hands, he caressed his cheeks and checked his breathing. Should we move him into the recovery position? But his head... Yes, but we have to be careful. Put a hand underneath his head and slowly shift his position. Akashi looked at Bokuto surprised, only to find him on the phone, most likely talking to an emergency operator. He and Kuro immediately complied, checking Kenma's breathing frequently while waiting for the ambulance to arrive. It was just one wrong movement, just a few millimeters too close to the edge, and just 1 second late to catch his balance. All he wanted was to be a little bit more independent, and a little bit less of a burden. Why was that so hard? Was that too much to ask? A throbbing pain was the first thing Kenma felt as he slowly regained consciousness. Shortly after, mumbled voices slowly made their way into his mind. He has a severe concussion and he's going to be alright, right? Yeah, he just... nothing serious. Yes. However, he'll have to stay the night, maybe 2. Depends on... Slowly the voices were getting clearer, along with the pain in his head intensifying. Also, the wound on his wrist reopened. It seems like he landed on it. We put new bandages around his hand, the last ones were applied poorly, and it should be alright within a few days. However, he should not put too much pressure on it for a while and let it heal. What wound? Oh no. No, no, no. This can't be happening. Why? You were not aware of his injury? On his wrist? No. A slight hint of anger mixed with the concern in Kuro's tone as a response to the judgment in the doctor's voice. Well, it looks like a small cut. Like I said, it's nothing serious. He could have gotten it anywhere from cooking or gardening. I deem it best if you ask himself when he wakes up, but take it slow. It was simply unfortunate that he fell onto it. Maybe... Okay, I think we got it from here. Thank you for your help. Akashi's voice was friendly but stern. He also had enough of the doctor's patronizing tone and wished more than anything that he would finally leave. To say that this idiot hadn't been thrilled after they corrected him because he wanted to send Kuro and Bokuto away, assuming that Akashi was Kenma's only partner, he arrived with the ambulance, was an understatement. He had given them disapproving glares whenever they got close to each other or offered another comfort, as if they were about to... just because they were in a polyamorous relationship when all they did was hugging. He left and the three got closer to Kenma's bed. The blonde hadn't woken up yet, even though he could sense more of his surroundings with every minute, including the pain in his body. However, the control over his muscles still seemed to be gone. He could feel a warm hand traveling over the inside of his arm to his own hand and gently closing the fingers around it. By the size, he estimated it to be Akashi's. Oh, Kenma. Tender fingers caressed his forehead, but it felt wrong, as if he was wearing a hood or something. A piece of cloth seemed to separate them. Was his head bandaged? Did he actually hit it hard enough to cause an open wound? It sure felt like it. You don't think he what? The wound on his arm. You don't think he did it, do you? No. Kenma had hoped so much that they would just forget about that. No. He wouldn't, right? I'm sure he didn't. You heard what the doctor said. It could have happened doing anything. It's just a small cut, right? Silence. Since when is he wearing the bandage? I didn't even notice. Hey, that's not your fault. Neither of us did. And Kenma is just really good at hiding stuff sometimes. Bokuto gasped. I think I saw him put it on in the bathroom 2 days ago or so. Why didn't you say anything? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't really notice at first. It was in the middle of the night. I was still half asleep. I think I only now remember at all that I got up that night to check on him because there was this really loud noise that woke me up and... Ko, breathe. Kenma could hear Bokuto's rambling accompanied by quickening pants, but it was almost impossible for him to understand everything through the aching in his head. And before the conversation could proceed any further, the door opened and shut with a noise too loud for Kenma's injured head to bear. He almost flinched and would have run and hid if he was fully lucid. Good evening. A nurse had entered the room and greeted them with a friendly and calm voice. The other three observed him as he prepared a syringe with a translucent liquid. What is that? Kuro asked harsher than intended. The whole situation left him on edge, and the doctor hadn't made it any better in the slightest. The nurse smiled genuinely nevertheless and continued while explaining. Just giving your friend... Oh, excuse me, I mean partner. He quickly corrected himself. Something to give him a good night's sleep. He needs to rest. I thought we are waiting for him to wake up. I know, but his body needs to rest first and heal part of the damage. It also prevents him from being in unnecessary pain. Regardless, he should wake up soon. I reckon everything comes down to tomorrow's exam, and then we just need to go at his own pace. Kenma could feel himself getting heavy again and was almost grateful for the darkness surrounding him, even though that meant postponing meeting his beloveds for a little while longer. He wasn't quite sure if he could face them right now anyway. And that was it for part 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Again, I'm sorry that it took so long. I suffered kind of from writer's block, so yeah, I'm sorry. But don't worry, I think part 4 is not going to take me that long. It will be up soon, somewhat in the future. Thanks for being so patient with me, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought or think in the comments, and have a wonderful day.